Congratulations! You just landed a job interview. You will most likely need to take and pass a Microsoft Excel skill assessment test, which is a typical way that most companies ensure that qualified candidates get hired. The test is offered in different formats. It could be interactive, most typical, multiple choice, or a combination of both. The level of difficulty of the test depends on the type of position you are applying for. The practice tests and tips provided in this series of videos will serve as an icebreaker. If you already feel comfortable with Excel, these test samples will serve as a nice refresher. The test reviews provided are based on actual case studies presented in an actual business environment. The videos tend to be over 30 minutes long, so I have included timestamps below in the description for each question and the topic. These videos are mini educational courses as taught in a business environment, and they are completely free to you with no monetary obligation. The only request I have of you, if you like these videos and find them useful, please like and subscribe to my channel. So having said that, let's go help you get the job. Let's move on with a review of the test. Welcome to the Excel practice quiz number 3. Let's review the data we have been provided with and the test format. We have been provided with a list of employees that will receive holiday gifts. The extract came from the XYZ Corp HR department's database in Comma Delimited Format. You may wonder, what is a delimited data format? In a nutshell, it is a list of or a set of data records extracted in such a way that each record occupies one line or row, and record information, i.e. fields, are separated by comma. In a consistent order, follow the records. Other delimiters used are tabs, spaces, etc. A .csv file is a typical example of a delimited text file. Zooming into each record, we see the person's name, address, city, state, zip code, etc. Each row contains a different record. The caveat here is that this file was not vetted when it was provided to us. For example, there are blank rows, records. There could be duplicate records within the list, which means we would have to clean the file first prior to doing any work. Most of these steps are the focus for this test. To your right, you will find the body of the test. There are 20 questions we need to address, and time allotted is 30 minutes. Question number 1. Copy current worksheet to a new one with the name Work Area 3 and perform all work there. Let's go to the tab below, right-click on it, click on Move or Copy. Make sure we say Create a Copy to the end. It's still within the same workbook, and click OK. Double-click on the new tab and type the new name, Work Area 3. An alternate way to perform the same task is as follows. Click on the Worksheet tab name and hold. You will see a page icon appearing. Press the Control button while still holding the tab, and you will see a plus sign appearing. While still holding the Control button, drag the mouse to the right. You will see a copy of the worksheet created. Double-click on the worksheet and rename it. Let's mark this question complete and move on to the next one. Question number 2. Review list and remove any blank records. We will perform this task in a variety of ways. Let's start with the most obvious one, which is selecting manually the blank records and then deleting them. Hitting the Control key, click on any empty cell, make sure you keep the Control key pressed. Then I'm going to click on delete cells, shift cells up, click OK. You notice that the empty cells have been deleted and the records moved up. So you have a complete list. This would not work in case you had a list with thousands of records. Let's use the second option, which is called Find and Select method. What we're going to try to do is select all blank records all at once. At the ribbon, click Find and Select, go to Special, make sure you click on Blanks, and click OK. All blank records have been selected automatically. Now you can click the Delete option from the ribbon or hit the shortcut Control-. Make sure the cells shift up and click OK. The blank records have been deleted, the list has been combined. This was a more efficient approach. The third method we're going to use is to select the empty cells via the sorting method. Let's highlight the list click on Sort at the ribbon, click Ascending or Descending, it's irrelevant which way you sort because Excel will move all the blank cells below. Since all the blank cells are on the bottom, we can easily select them and delete them via the two methods I described earlier. The last option we will review is to delete the blank records via a filter. Let's highlight the records. On the ribbon, click on Sort and Filter. Click on Filter. Notice the arrow at the column header. Now we can click the arrow and we can see all our choices, which is all the records. One of them is blank. If you select the blank, you will see that your list only shows the blank records now. We can highlight the blank cells now and proceed with deletion. Notice what happens when we try to delete. Excel is warning us that it's going to delete the rows. This occurs because when you filter records, you filter entire rows. Make sure this is what you really want. Let's mark this question complete and move on to the next one. Question number 3. Check list for duplicates and remove if any. Since this is a small data set, let's identify duplicates via the conditional formatting. Highlight the range. At the Home tab, under the ribbon, click on Conditional Formatting. Click on Highlight Cell Rules. Click on Duplicate Values. Let's accept the default formatting and click OK. As a result, you will notice that all duplicate entries have been highlighted. Cleaning them could be a tedious process since the whole delete process is manual and you are risking to delete records you need. Sorting can help group duplicate records together and you can delete the records easier. So let's sort them. Ascending, descending, doesn't matter. And then you notice that the duplicate records are together now, so deletion becomes easier. I would not recommend this process for large data sets of thousands of records. You're just going to use it for a quick identification in case there are duplicate records in your data set. The quickest and most efficient way is to highlight your range, then on the Home tab, click on Data, click Remove Duplicates under Data Tools, make sure you click on My Data Has Headers, then click OK. Excel automatically will tell you how many duplicates values it removed and how many unique values remain. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 4. Add today's date in cell A5. Two popular functions we could use in Excel are today function and the now function. Let's start typing the today. Zoom in the field, equals today, open up parenthesis, close up parenthesis, and then you see you're getting today's date. Another option will be the now function. The difference is that the now returns date and time. So if you just need the date, you might have to do an additional formatting. So if you type the now function, look at the result, right click on that, go to Format Cells, click on Date, and select the first type code, click OK. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 5. Create additional columns as per note in cell A7. Notes in cells are ways to communicate thoughts, instructions, or reminders. A cell that contains notes has a red indicator. To read a note, just hover your mouse pointer over the cell. The note in the cell provides info on the order the record details are laid out. So we need to add 9 columns based on the info on the note, such as name, address, city, state, zip code, email, sex, and telephone number. Let's select 9 columns to the right of A. Then right-click and click on Insert. The width of the new columns defaults to the width of the left column when we started the selection. In this case, they will default to the width of column A. We cannot use the Auto Adjust feature since the columns are empty. To adjust the width, we can either do it manually, one by one, or we can use one of the most convenient tools in Excel, the Format Painter. Adjust one column, then select the column. At the ribbon, double-click the Format Painter brush. Note the mouse pointer became a brush now. And click to each column to the right or to all columns concurrently. The width gets adjusted automatically. Let's enter the column headers as per note. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 6. Populate the newly created columns by extracting the information from the strings in column A. We can use flash fill to separate and extract the data from the string in column A. Flash fill in Excel will automatically complete data in columns as soon as it senses a pattern. Flash fill feature is only available in Excel 2013 and later. Let's type in the info in the columns as we would like it to appear with the purpose of creating a pattern. As soon as we have a pattern, at the Home tab, go to Data, click on Flash Fill. Alternatively, you can use the shortcut Control-E, and then you'll notice that the column gets populated with the related information. Let's repeat the same for the other columns. A second option we can use is to convert text to columns wizard. Let's highlight the range in column A. Select Data. Click on Text to Columns and the wizard is activated. Select the delimiter for your data. In this example we're using, the delimiter is comma. You can see a preview of your data in the data preview window, how the data is going to be split in columns. Click on Next. We have the option to format each column. We can call it general, we can format it as text, etc. Select the destination in your worksheet, which is where you want the split data to appear. And click on Finish. And there you have it. Your data is split in all the columns. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 7. Split column name in two columns, last name and first name. We will approach this like we did previously. We're going to use the flash fill, or we're going to use the text to columns option. So first, let's add the two columns. Call it first name, last name. Let's complete the first row so we can establish a pattern. Now we can either use the shortcut Control-E for flash fill, or we can go at the Home tab and the Data and click Flash Fill. You see that the name has been split into two columns, first name, last name. The second option we're going to use is the text to column wizard. So let's highlight the column last name, click at Home tab, the tab Data, click on Text to Column, click on Next. Now the limit we're going to select this time around is space. If you select comma, you see nothing happens. If you select space at the preview pane, you see that the columns get split in two. Formatting, we leave it as it is, general. Let's select the destination. We want to put it in cell C8. And click Finish. As you can see, the name column is split into last name and first name. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 8. Center the title in cell A4 over the report, change it to size 14, make it bold, and add a thick border around it. Let's select the cell. Click on Merge and Center at the Home tab. Click on size 14. Make it bold and add a thick border around it. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 9. Find number of recipients in list and add the result below. We are asked here to count basically how many entries we have in our list of gifts recipients. One of the most popular functions is the count function. But count function, be aware that it counts the number of cells that contain numbers. In our case, if you look at the recipient's information, we have string of text. So what we're going to use here, we're going to use the variation of count function, which is called CountA, which basically counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So let's type the formula, equals CountA, open up parentheses. Let's highlight the range. Make sure you don't select the column header because it will be counted as an entry. And then close the parentheses. So the number of entries is 14. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 10. Expand the columns to fit the contents. As you review the data, you see that some columns hide the information because the content is too long to fit in the column. So in order to expand the width of a column, simply double click on the right hand border of the column header, and as you will see, automatically the column gets adjusted and shows everything that's included in there. An alternate way is to select all the columns in one shot, then at the Home tab, under Cells, click Format, select the option Autofit Column Width, and automatically all columns get adjusted and they show all the contents. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 11. Alphabetize the list by last name. Let's explore some possibilities. What we're asked to do here is sort this list by a specific column. In this particular case, the column is last name. All we have to do is click on a cell in the column we want to sort by. At the Home tab, click on Sort, select Ascending. Let's check the list. You realize the list is sorted by last name. The same token, we can sort for any other column, let's say by city. Click on the cell under city, and then sort ascending or sort descending. You can also sort for another column, let's say the zip code. Same idea, just click on any cell. At the Home tab, click on Sort, and there you have it. We can perform the same task by clicking at the Home tab, then Data, and then Ascending, Descending under the Sort and Filter group. Although it's not in the test, let's explore another case, the multi-level sorting. What this is, when you want to sort on more than one column combined. We can do that in Excel very easily. At the Home tab, click on Data and then click on Sort. You get the Sort wizard. At the Sort By, select, let's say we want to do it by state. We add another level. Within the state, we want to sort by city. Let's add one more level. Within city, we want to sort in alphabetical order by last name. And click OK. And as you can see, we have in alphabetical order by state, then by city, and then by last name. This is a very efficient technique, and it's a very helpful tool that Excel provides us to perform these complicated sorts. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 12. Format the telephone numbers and the zip codes as phone numbers and US postal codes, respectively. The caveat here is that in order for us to apply the Excel default formats, we have to make sure the numbers are in numbers and not text, and they don't contain any special characters or any signs. Otherwise, the format is not going to work. By looking at the zip code column, we realize that there are warnings on each cell. When we look at the warnings, it says that the numbers are stored as text. So in order to convert them, we highlight them, click on the warning sign, and click on Convert to Numbers. Now you're able to apply the format So let's highlight the zip codes, click on Format Cells, go to Special, look at the zip code +4, and look at the sample. That's what we want. And click OK. Let's expand the column. And there you have it. Let's do the same thing for the phone numbers. Select the column. Right-click on it. Format Cells. Go to Numbers, Special. And select phone number. Look at the sample and click OK. And there you have it. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 13. Add a column with the header short name and populate with a string created as per sample provided, which involves last name and first name. Let's go first and add the column. Call it short name. Now we can fill the column with flash fill. We can establish a pattern, but in this case I would like to demonstrate a formula that combines a couple of functions to achieve the same result. The functions we're going to use are upper and left, and we're going to use the ampersand, which is the concatenation operator. To do that, let's start typing the formula. Upper, open up parentheses. Now the upper will take the last name in this case and capitalize it. Now we want to combine next to it a comma and a space. So we add the ampersand sign. We include within double quotes comma and a space. Close the double quotes. Then we include the ampersand. Then we're going to include the upper because we want the first three characters of the capitalized first name. So we're going to include upper. Open up parentheses. We add within the left function, which will extract from cell first name, the first three characters, close the parentheses and close the upper parentheses. So that will capitalize the first three characters of the first name. Then we combine, we include the ampersand, double quotes, we put the period and quotes. And there you have it. Let's expand to see it. So now all we have to do, just copy the formula to the remaining cells of the column. We can do that copy paste, Control C and Control V. And there you have it. Let's expand the column. And this is the string that we wanted to use. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 14. Find out how many mail recipients in the list and add the result below. We will use the statistical function Countif that counts the number of cells that meet a criterion. In our case, we want to count on the column 6 how many are male. Let's start typing the function equals Countif. So now let's look for where. The where part is the column 6. Let's highlight the range. Then we separate a comma. And now we have to tell the function what to look for. Let's include in quotes M, which is male in our case. So basically, we're looking for males in this range. Close quotes, close parentheses, and there you have it. The answer is 7. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next. Question number 15. Find how many female recipients in the list and add the results below. This is the same question that we addressed before. We're going to use the function Countif, one of the statistical functions in Excel, that counts the number of cells that meet a criterion. So let's start typing the formula, Countif. Let's figure out the where, which in this case is again the column sex. So that's the word to look. And now, comma, put a comma in the formula. So now we need to say what we're looking for. So in this case, we want double quote, F for female, close quote, and there you have it. So the number of female recipients is also 7. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 16. Assuming gifts for men cost $100, calculate total gift cost for men and add below. Let's review the math. Men gift cost equals $100 times number of male recipients. Let's enter the formula. Equals number of male recipients. That's the result from the Countif formula earlier. Times $100 and hit enter. Let's format the result. Click on the $sign, make it look currency, and there you have it, $700. Let's mark this question completed and move on to the next one. Question number 17. Assuming gifts for women cost $150, calculate total gift cost for women recipients and add below. Similar to the previous exercise, let's review the math. The formula will be women gift cost equals $150 times the number of women recipient. Let's enter the formula. Equals women recipient, which is cell A31 times 150 and hit enter. Let's format this. Currency format. At the Home tab, on the number group, click the $sign, and there you have it. Let's mark this question completed and move to the next one. Question number 18. Create a page footer as follows. Add the page number to the bottom right of page and add the file name to the bottom left of the page. Let's review some options. First option, at the Home tab, click at Page Layout, Print Titles. Click on Header and Footer, Custom Footer. Left, center, and right are the bottom parts of the page. On top, we have a few codes we can use. So on the left side, we need to put the file name. Click on the left side, click on the code, and you see that it puts the file name over there. At the right part, we're going to put the page number. So add the code page, and then let's type of, if we want to do number of pages of total pages. and add the code of the total number of pages and click OK. Look at the review panel at the bottom. You have the file name and you have page. Option number 2, at the Home tab, click on Insert and then click on Header and Footers. You get a graphical representation of the page, and you see on top under header, footer, suggested layouts to put at the page, to put at the header. Let's go to footer. On the left, let's add the file name. At the right, let's add page number of, add page numbers. So that will give you the desired request, and scroll up and down so we see that we got what we wanted. Let's mark this question completed and move to the next one. Question 19. Format the document for printing in portrait orientation, set page to letter size, ensure report fits in one page, and export to PDF for sharing. Let's highlight the area we want to print. Click on File, Print. Let's review at the page. We see all the columns there, but the columns don't fit. Under Settings, make sure the print selection is selected. Portrait orientation is selected. The letter size is selected. Margins, we accept the defaults. Now, in order to make the columns that spill on second page fit in one page, we have to go to Scaling and select Fit all columns in one page. Then you will see that everything is fitting now in one page. And then we're ready to click on make sure printer is the printer to PDF, and then click on Print. Question number 20. Copy the worksheet Work Area 3 in another workbook and protect the workbook with a password 1111. Let's right-click at the tab name, click on Move or Copy, create a copy. To book, the option we'll select will be New Book, and click OK. At the top of the page, at the Home tab, click on File, click on Info, click on Protect Workbook, select the option Encrypt with a password. Type the password 1111 and click OK. Re-enter the password, click OK. Let's save the file. Under Documents, let's call it Work Area 3 Locked, so we can differentiate from other documents, and click on Save. Let's confirm that the document is protected. Click on File, Info, and you see the yellow highlight that indicates that the protection is on. Let's close the new copy. Let's try to reopen it. Select the document. We are asked to enter the password we previously set up. Click OK. And there you have it. We have a copy of the worksheet, password protected, so now we can share it to people that we want, but we have to provide the password. Let's mark this question completed. And that concludes the practice quiz number 3.